Okay guys, this is the Sefaspe 135 Alpha 135A, and what we're going to do is load it with flux core wire. And I have a couple pieces of 1/8 inch angle right there. We'll just go ahead and throw a little bit of weld down on it. See how this thing looks. So you always want to make sure, get yourself kind of prepared before you start to unspool this, because this will try to turn into a mess on you. So take your spool holder, take the end off, open up your feed rollers, make sure that they're ready to accept your wire. Make sure that your wire that they give you, what is this stuff? 0.8 millimeter. So they give you here a 1.0 and a 0.8. So is this one? Yep. Okay, so you want the 0.8 facing you, which it is. So we are set up properly there. All right, so now everything's pretty much set up. I'm plugged in, the power's off, torch is here. At this point now, I'm going to go ahead and grab my wire and get it out of there. We're going to cut the hooked end off so they bend it through the plastic. You're not going to be able to feed that. So just go ahead and snap that off. Don't lose control of this. Remember, it's going to try to, this thing will try to bird's nest on you like crazy, right? So get yourself in and get started. I like to sort of straighten the tip out a little bit. Get started into your drive motor feed. Keeping a hand on the spool at all times, because remember, the spool is going to try to do what spools do. Unwind. Right? So now, okay, we got that. We're going to put our flat washer on first. Then the coil spring, and this just has a little latching nut. This is Sefaspe doesn't have a, you can't adjust it. It is what it is. So you just put that there, and like I said, you get what you get out of it. Now, I need to get my wire bent up a little bit. Yeah, I'm assuming that most people know how to feed the wire, to get their machine started. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe a lot of people are brandy new. Okay, so I'm going to put the drive motor wheel down, put the spring-loaded piece over. Okay, so now we have our spool on. Everything's locked up. Now I'm going to turn the power on. Now that the power is turned on, you essentially want to take and don't have any sharp curves in your MIG torch, and you're just going to hold the button. And let's see here. And what do we got here? Oh, the button was on TIG, so now we get any rotation? No, we're not. Why not? Uh-oh. So we're set to MIG. Are we spinning our wheels? Oh, there. Okay, it is feeding. Okay. I'm not sure if you can see that. There we go. Okay, so it has a delay. I like that. So when you first go, it's going at the welding speed. Now it's going to realize that it's not arcing, that there's nothing happening. There. It just kicked into feed, high-speed feed. So now you're waiting for the wire to come out this end. And like normal. Okay. I like that's not threaded. It's just a pull on, pull off. Now at that point, grab your MIG pliers. They do give you a little stamp steel multi-tool, but if you have your MIG pliers, what happens when I cut the wire, it deforms the end a little bit, and it's no longer round, so it's not able to make it through. I'll try to cut it again, see if I can do a better job cutting. And yep, 0.8, so it's the right tip. There you go. Give it a couple spins while you're working on it. And all right, so let's see here. So it seems like if you knock the knob fast, it does big jumps, right? You see at 75, 135. But if I take the knob and I turn it slow, I can dial amp by amp. So we'll go 100. And we'll see how she puts it down. try to turn these. If my son was here, I'd have him hold a lens in front of you and bring you down here, but this is the best you're going to get for now. The mask isn't holding up. Got to get her adjusted better. Okay. Now let's see. Not horrible. I didn't pull back on my stop point. Bring this to you here. All right, so there's what we got. I'm gonna bring the amperage up a little bit. Let's go for bright. This is fairly thick stuff, so we're just gonna go all the way. 134 amps, and let's see what it does. Well, I don't like that. It leaves a pretty long tail, which I don't like the tail sticking out that far. Especially I'm used to MIG. That's like, all my whole life I've been a MIG guy. And MIG guy, you don't want a big gap between where your gas is coming out, where you're welding. I know for Flux Core it don't matter, but it's just weird for me to start out back there. Okay, see how that one looks. So Sefaspe gives you this little cleaner. It's like a little chipping hammer for your flux, and I guess that's sort of a brush. Not many teeth on it. It's actually typical of the free ones that you get with this kind of stuff. Let's see. Let's dig in. Let's see how she looks. I mean, it did better than I did, actually. I was off. Let me show you here. Yeah, it looks like I was off one side, but yeah, see, I'm off to the right there, but not a horrible weld. Don't look bad. Let's keep going. I'll go ahead and flip her this way. Just running her. This is, like I said, fairly thick material for a little 130 amp welder, 135 amp welder. But I mean, it's doing its job. I'm going to leave this stick out the way it is and just see how it starts with that. It should work better. Now I'm going to try to dance down this end here. I'll show you what we just did there was the top. Okay. You see that? Now you could, I mean, even with a little flux core welder like this, you can build weld. I mean, you can come back at this, like, if you wanted to fill this in, you can come back and you can stitch. You can do a single bead and then a single bead. There's different ways that, different people like to do things. But you can, like, say this was a big V groove on something larger. At some point, you're not going to have the power to get the heat in there. But if I wanted to fill this in, I could come back into here and I'm stitching it right to left. Just basically piling metal in there. pot, but look how dull it got. But you can see what I'm doing. I'm building that material out. Looks pretty rough. Anytime you're doing flux core, you see all those little BBs, all those little slaggy, poopy things. That just happens with flux core. It's it's like a nature of the beast. There's not much you could do about it. They sell sprays that you could spray on the part that are supposed to limit the amount of that'll stick to it. I'll put a link to that in the description. Usually if I'm doing a part that even if I'm using gas, I'll spray around the nozzle of the welder, and you can spray around the part so that anything that sticks into your area doesn't stick well. It's almost like a non-stick. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'll weld here. Let me get a zoom in here, and let's twist you and bring you down here. Oop. And what's a 10 by look like? That's not horrible. Okay, so what we'll do is grab the welding gloves over here. And go ahead and throw some weld down here. So that's where it's standing up in the V formation there. We'll let her cool off a little bit and see what she looks like. That didn't do bad. Let's see here. Bring this over to you. Here's where my two pieces of angle came together. So just threw a weld right on that. But yeah, you can see it. I mean, the weld's fine. It's going to fix your lawnmowers. It's going to do all your basic around the house, little carbon steel things that you need to weld. It'll do that. It doesn't have a huge amount of power. It's not going to be fixing large, heavy tractor parts. But there's a time and a place for a welder like this, and actually the time and place is for a lot of people's home garages that aren't going to be doing big repairs or often. Small repairs, 1/8 inch thick or less. Most of your stuff around your house that you have in your garage and your shed and whatnot for your yard maintenance and whatnot, this is going to be capable of fixing all that stuff. For less than $100, you get the ability to weld, and you can stick weld. Either one. MIG welding tends to be easier. This is gasless flux core, so you don't have to worry about tanks, valves, none of that stuff. It's pick up and go, super easy. Sefaspe 135 Alpha, right now $30 coupon on it, so it gets it to you for around 80-90 bucks. I'll have links in the description to gloves, the hood, the welder, wire, everything that I could think of, my MIG pliers, anything you want, just go hit the description, go head out. Do me a favor, subscribe, like, share the video, throw it on Facebook, throw it anywhere you want. I don't care. Share it, get it out there. But Sefaspe, high value, well performing. It's going to get you into welding very cheaply and very easily. Single dowel, you can't make it easier. What more do you need, right? All right, guys, thanks.